I get it, there's a ton of glossy photos and hype videos out there promising the perfect plug-and-play axe, but when you finally plug the thing in at home, the tone feels flat, the tremolo feels stiff, or the neck just doesn't sit right under your hand. That feeling of "I should have read more reviews before I bought" is exactly why I'm doing this deep dive. The Ibanez Premium AZ47P2K in Dragoneye Burst looks like the kind of guitar that would sit beautifully on stage and in the bedroom, yet a lot of buyers end up with an instrument that needs extra work before it feels truly playable. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about who this guitar is really built for. If you're a mid-level player who's already comfortable with a standard 6-string shape and you want an instrument that can handle everything from crunchy rhythm tones to smooth single-note leads without swapping guitars, the AZ47P2K checks a lot of boxes. The combination of 2 humbuckers and a single coil in the middle gives you a classic HSH configuration that can cover classic rock, modern metal, and even a bit of jazzy clean work. That tonal flexibility is something you'll notice right away when you sit down and try the bridge humbucker for a thick, high-gain sound versus the middle single coil for a glassy, articulate clean. If, on the other hand, you're a beginner who's still figuring out how to keep a guitar in tune, or you're looking for a low-cost, no-frills starter, you might want to skip this one. The price point lands it in the upper mid-range market, and the features Gotoh Tremolo, Ebony Fingerboard, and a Basswood body are geared toward players who already have a basic setup and are ready to fine-tune a few things. A total novice could easily end up spending extra on a professional setup just to get the guitar to feel as good as the specs suggest. Now, let's break down the practical strengths that actually matter when you pull this thing out of the case. The body is Basswood, which is a lightweight wood that many players love for its balanced mid-range and ability to take the edge off high-gain distortion. In a real-world rehearsal room, I found the tone surprisingly full for a guitar that weighs just under 8 pounds. That weight makes it comfortable for gigging musicians who have to stand for long sets. You won't feel the fatigue that comes with heavier mahogany or alder bodies. The Dragoneye Burst finish is more than just eye candy. It's a durable urethane coat that held up to a few weeks of daily gigging and a couple of accidental bumps without any visible chips. The Ebony Fingerboard is another practical win. Ebony is a dense, smooth wood that feels fast under the fingers, especially when you're doing rapid alternate picking or tapping. In my own practice sessions, the board's tight grain gave me a very consistent feel across the whole fretboard, which helped when I was shifting between chord voicings in the 12th position. The neck profile is a modern C shape that sits comfortably for players with either smaller or larger hands, but because it's a slimmer profile, it does demand a bit more precise finger placement if you're used to chunkier, vintage-style necks. The Gotoh Tremolo is where the real-world usability gets interesting. Gotoh is known for smooth action and reliable tuning stability, but on the AZ47P2K the tremolo isn't a fully floating system. It's a low-profile bridge that allows subtle dive bombs without the extreme string slack you'd see on a Floyd Rose. In a live setting, that means you can add tasteful vibrato on a lead line without worrying that the whole guitar will go out of tune after a few bends. However, because it's not a fully floating bridge, you won't get the dramatic pitch shifting you might find on a metal-oriented tremolo. If your style leans heavily on extreme whammy bar tricks, you may feel a bit limited. On the flip side, for bluesy bends, light vibrato, and modest pitch dips, the Gotoh works like a charm and stays in tune through several songs. Let's talk about the pickup layout. 2 humbuckers paired with a single coil in the middle give you the classic jazz rock palette. In practice, the bridge humbucker produces a thick, tight low end that sits nicely under a high-gain amp, while the neck humbucker offers a warmer, rounded tone that works well for rhythm chops. The middle single coil is surprisingly articulate for a guitar in this price tier. It captures a bright, chimey quality that makes clean arpeggios cut through a mix. One thing to watch out for is the pickup height adjustment. Out of the box, the humbuckers sit a bit higher than you might expect, which can cause a little excess output when you crank the volume. A quick trip to your local tech to lower the screws a millimeter or two smooths the response and eliminates a slight muddiness that can appear during fast chord changes. It's a simple tweak, but it's the kind of hidden trade-off that only shows up after you've actually played the instrument for a